From the bright lights of New York City straight to your living room, the Octagon takes center stage. V-Chain UFC 322 brings Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena in a clash of champions. And DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, puts every kick, clinch, and finish in the palm of your hand. New customers, turn $5 into $300 instantly if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code SONNEN. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? Bet live on star, player props, and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers turn $5 into $300 instantly in bonus bets if your pick wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. The number one thing that I would like to know, and there's no way, I won't know this, but fantasy, right? You got a magic wand, fantasy. The number one thing that I would like to know is who believes they're going to win, Islam or Jack. Now, I'm going to sit down on behalf of ESPN. I'm going to interview Islam on Tuesday. Get a very good sense. I'll let you guys know what that sense is and how I feel. But something that is often resisted by you, the fan, and I come in with an insight, I try to bring it to you. I try to share it with you. But I have noticed that even when I share it with you, it will sometimes be resisted. Both guys don't think they're going to win the fight. That's an act. Most fights, 99%, over 99%. When two guys walk to the ring, both guys have the same opinion of who's going to win the fight. Now, that's where courage comes in. You don't have to apologize for that. Like, confidence is a really hard thing to have. It's a really hard thing to have, and you start doing the deductions, and we all know each other. We all know each other, whether we've been in the room together, where we actually felt each other. Maybe it was when we were kids. Maybe it was, right? That story comes out, Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya. Like, there has never been heat like those two guys. Those guys had the kind of heat that melted airwaves. They were using racial language, and nobody quite knew who was right or who was wrong because they were both from the same kind. Like, it got so uncomfortable at times. But then we found out those guys had worked out together before. And by the way, it wasn't back home. It was in Thailand. And by the way, why they were in Thailand, both learning how to stand up, fight, they did a grappling workout. I mean, like the last thing that you would suspect that you would hear. I share that with you because we all know each other. Now, it doesn't mean that Islam and Jack have touched, but they've done the next best thing, which is common opponent. People love to tell you that MMA math doesn't work. And I don't know why they tell you that. MMA math works all the time. The number one criterion you have, and this is from the NCAA to the International Olympic Committee, two complete scumbag organizations, but that are really respected organizations, and they both have the same clause when they're doing a seeding meeting. Number one is head-to-head competition. Number two is common opponent. That is how they will seed an entire bracket, the NCAA to the Olympic Games. Like, common opponent really matters. Jack Dell fought Belal Muhammad, and he beat him by a bigger spread than we predicted. I thought Belal was going to win that fight, just for example. But when Jack went out and beat him, Jack went out and dominated him, and it was a surprise because Belal never let up. It wasn't like that was a bad version of Belal, or Belal quit, or he was injured, or he left his skills in the locker room. Like, Belal came out and fought his ass off, and it just showed Jack did a really good job. And let's use Belal and Islam have trained together. Now, what happens in the training room is supposed to stay in the training room, and those guys, for the most part, have followed that story. But while following that script, they have not put out any illusions, nor has anybody else that saw those workouts, that Islam got the best of him. But now the question becomes, well, how bad? How much did Islam get the best of him? Did he win every round? Because Jack won every round. Did Islam win every round dominantly? Because Jack had a 10-8 round. And I certainly don't bring you this piece to insult Belal. I think Belal Muhammad is incredible, but that's the common opponent. Now there happens to be another one. And the other one happens to be Volkanovski. Volkanovski and Jack trained together. Volkanovski and Islam had fought once. I know their records will say twice, but they fought once. And it was extremely competitive. Just to remind you, it was a split decision. One judge thought Volkanovski won, and a number of you watching the fight thought Volkanovski won. And Islam and his team were not prepared to object had we found out that Volkanovski, it was a really close fight. Really close. Now let's look at Jack and Volk's workouts. And unlike Islam and Belal's workouts, which did get made public, which we did find out about, which we did not get great detail, but we were definitely led to believe that Islam had the upper hand. We haven't heard anything about Jack and Volk. Nothing. And it's almost to the point that when they were in the workout room together, they kind of stayed away from each other. Even though we're teammates and they did do some workouts, they kind of stayed away from each other because Jack would manhandle him because Jack was so much bigger. This is a vibe of the very loose story and details that we got, but I'm just repeating that vibe for you. So what do you make of that? If Jack, regardless of size, didn't have anything to do with it, if Jack could put it on Volk beat Islam, according to one judge. Jack dominated Islam, Belal, and Islam bested Belal. Like, what do you want to make of that? And whatever your answer is fine. I'm just sharing with you, these two guys have an opinion. Islam, I believe, is very confident that he can beat Jack. I believe that to be sincere. And again, I know what you want to tell yourself, and you want to tell they both think they're going to win. That's because you're an idiot, okay? It's not true. Of the 11 fights that happen on a card, usually all 11, both guys have the same opinion of who's going to win when they go into the match. And the truly great fights, the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns, the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler, the truly great fights is where both guys believe sincerely that they're going to win. And I just don't imagine. Don't forget, Islam did not just go up to 170 because he didn't want to cut weight. That's his biggest motivation. But it's not the only motivation. In fact, he was very tactical to say he was not going to go up to 170 unless Jack beat Muhammad. So Islam had a very clear picture. Like use that same example and back it up to Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria did not have any idea if he was even going to get a title shot at 155 pounds. His best guess is that he would be fighting Islam at 155 pounds. He had no idea they were going to bring Charles in. I mean, Islam went up blindly Or I apologize. Ilya went up blindly. Islam went up very clearly knowing it's going to be Jack. So I would guess, even with that limited information, that Islam truly believes that he can beat Jack. But they do have common opponents. They have two. They can both refer to Belal, and they can both refer to Volkanovski. And why I am convinced that Islam believes he can beat Jack. I'm not yet convinced that Jack doesn't believe that he can beat Islam. And if that's the case, that's the kind of fights that go down in history. That's the kind of fights that belong for championships in main events at Madison Square Garden. And that just happens to be exactly where this fight is headed.